If you'd like to build stronger legs without needing a lot of equipment, then this video is for you. I'll share 3 great exercises to strengthen your legs using just a resistance band. So let's jump right into it. For these, all you'll need is a resistance band. This one's a little bit thicker than the normal resistance bands you get at physical therapy. So I'll put a link down below where you can buy these. They come in various sizes and resistances. So for the first exercise, you put the band underneath your feet and around your knees like this. Now, the narrower you put your feet and the more slack there is on the side of the bands, the easier it's going to be. The more you spread your feet out across the band, the more difficult this will be. Now you'll take your hands and grip on the band as if you were going to do a bicep curl with the band. But this is not an arm exercise, this is a leg exercise. So you want to pull your forearms up until they're vertical and the bands are roughly parallel with your forearms. This takes your arms out of the exercise so that you can focus on your legs. If you hold the band out here, your arms are going to tire out before your legs. So make sure to keep your forearms vertical, then lean forward slightly into the band, drive your knees out into the band, and then push your hips forward to stand up. Then sit back for the chair. And just repeat back and forth like that. That adds a little bit of resistance to a normal sit to stand. Now, if that's too easy for you, you can make it a little bit more difficult by flaring your elbows out. That stretches the band a little bit more and adds some resistance. And then the technique is the same. You turn your knees out, stand up, sit back for the chair, stand up, sit back for the chair, and repeat. Now, if you need to add even more resistance to that, you can take the band off and double it up. So when you have one length of band, it provides a little bit of resistance. If you have 2 lengths of band together, it provides double the resistance. Again, put it underneath your feet, and you want to try to get an equal amount of band on each side of your hand. The more slack there is here, the easier it'll be. The farther you spread your feet and the less band you have on each side, the harder it will be. And then the technique is pretty much the same. You're holding on to the loops of the band with your hands, drive the knees out into your hands, and then stand up and then sit down. Stand up, sit back for the chair, stand up, and sit back for the chair. Now I'll show that from a side view as well. So you turn this way. Again, put the band underneath your feet. Try to get an equal amount of band on each side of your feet. Then grab onto the loops, lean forward slightly. Then you're going to extend your knees while driving your hips forward. Reach back for the chair. Stand up, reach back for the chair. Stand up, reach back for the chair, and repeat for about 10 repetitions or until you get tired. Now, I wanted to show this from the side because the second exercise looks somewhat similar, but it is slightly different. With this exercise, you're working on your quads and your glutes, straightening at the knees and then bending at the knees while driving the hips forward. For this next exercise, it's going to work more on your glutes and hamstrings and taking your quadriceps out of the motion. For this, you'll grab on each side of the band, stand up, then drive your hips back, keeping your knees relatively straight. Then you squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to drive your hips forward. You're also keeping your abdominal muscles tight to help stabilize your spine. And then do hips back, hips forward, hips back, hips forward. Note there's minimal bend in the knee. It's not like the sit to stand where you're extending through your knees and then bending at your knees. It's more of just a hip hinge or a deadlift. And so that's the second exercise. Now for the third exercise, you'll need to loop this band around something heavy, an immovable object. This table is a little bit lighter than ideal, but I will show it to you on here. So you loop the band around like this, and then you sit back this way. Now you can turn a chair towards you for safety. But for this, you're actually going to step inside the band and then pull it up so that it's right behind your knees. This exercise is referred to as a Spanish squat. It's a great quadriceps strengthening exercise. It's used in research for patellar tendinopathy or front of knee pain, but it's also just a great general strengthening exercise. For this, you step back until there's stretch on the band, and then you're going to try to maintain an upright trunk position while the band pulls your knees forwards like this. You can touch back into a chair like this. Now, this does allow you to maintain more of an upright trunk position versus a normal squat. You sort of have to bend forwards like this to counterbalance your body weight. I'm being just a little careful here because I know this table can slide on me, but you try to stay upright like this, sit back, maintain a fairly upright trunk position, sit back, maintain a fairly upright trunk position, and just go back and forth that way. And again, that helps strengthen your quadriceps primarily and takes your glutes out of the movement a little more than a normal squat. So those are the leg strengthening exercises using a band. Those bands are also great for improving joint mobility and particularly in your hips. If you'd like to learn how to use the bands to improve your hip mobility, check out this video over here. But before you go, if you found this one helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.